Alright, this is take 11. 4 years ago, I made a video where I talked about mental health, specifically the ways I was feeling around that time and then positive affirmations. I titled that video, I Talk Mental Health. It's a really basic title and conveys the point of the video as succinctly as possible. I liked it, and it was a nice message to myself and hopefully the people who viewed it. The harsh truth behind that video is that the real title of that script was Writing This So I Don't Kill Myself. It was almost a plea for help until it became a positive message, as if getting everything down helped clear my mind. This script is a continuation of that original hidden feeling. I'll just go out on a limb and say what happened. I tried to kill myself. Brutal stuff, I know. I didn't and honestly still don't know how to carry on living what I am feeling, so I'm just putting it out onto a document for maybe no one to read or everyone to listen. Just depends if this script makes it outside of the privacy of my own computer, which, if you're hearing this now, it has. Regardless, I hope you're comfortable. The contents of this video may arouse a fear for my well-being, but I promise you I won't die yet. I love all of my friends and family, and I've rediscovered just how much I mean to them too. Taking a loved one out of their lives would be extremely selfish. I'm trying to do better now, and that includes not having the people most important to me worry about me disappearing at any moment. Hedonism is described as a family of psychological views that prioritize pleasure. It places pleasure at the pinnacle of human existence as the most intrinsically valuable thing we could ever experience. There are several types of hedonism, it being a family of psychological views, but I lost my notebook of that class, and I'll be damned before I dig for a now several-year-old notebook for something you could further research if the topic interests you. I forget where I first learned of the phrase and its meaning, probably on some side of the internet I was far too young to be exploring, but I do remember the first time I really dove into hedonism as a psychological view. It was one of my first college classes in person after the pandemic. I remember sitting in that class and thinking, yeah, that makes perfect sense. I don't get why anyone would subscribe to any other worldview when feeling good feels good. I've since gone on to describe myself as a hedonistic person, and for better or worse, it's a pretty apt description of myself. That being said, I try to balance pleasure with the ethical and moral values I still hold. I'm not haphazardly skipping shifts at work just because the act itself doesn't pleasure me. It's all about the balance between pleasure and pain, and in that instance, knowing that the pain of employment will bring me so much pleasure in the form of time with my coworkers and money that I love to spend. Up until a certain point, I was doing a good job of being able to balance the pain I was receiving and the pleasure I brought upon myself. But this is my first time living, and I was bound to fuck up somewhere. I won't get into it here, not even in the privacy of a script that may not see the light of day, but I recently messed up that balance, and it's as if the tipping of the scales hasn't stopped erring towards that of pain. I tried taking my own life, my medication is kicking my ass, and I'm left with this terrible sinking feeling stuck in my gut, maybe the worst possible feeling I've ever felt non-physically. And the worst part about it is all this pain is self-inflicted. I see where the scales tipped and I screwed up. I can pinpoint exactly where things began to go awry and I was helpless to stop. If I could take things back, I would, but it just doesn't work that way. There are no redos, there are no fixes, just the way things turned out and the consequences of my own actions. Now, what does this mean for little old me? Poor 24-year-old baby Matt is lamenting over their mistakes. Well, to be honest, I have been feeling very sorry for myself and making a fool of myself, but I also realize that instead of just being sorry, I must be better too. It's difficult to talk about what I mean by trying to be better, especially when I'm dancing around the subject, but trust that I am trying to the best of my ability. I'm making choices that otherwise go against my pleasure-first prerogative in an attempt to prevent pain. I thought I knew people's boundaries, but my hedonistic worldview warped my perspective and, without meaning to, hurt someone really close to me. And found out that hurting people I love hurts way more than being hurt myself. I feel like I was able to tell just how deeply I betrayed them, and I was being selfish by grasping at straws to keep them in my life. I've let go since then, and it hasn't been an easy decision, but a friend told me that this pain is good. Without it, I probably would have stayed the same and continued to hurt my loved ones around me. That I'm experiencing my own growing pains. I just have to take this on the chin and improve from it. Realize I made a mistake and see how I can do better from now on. It still hurts, it's still scary, and I do still want the person I hurt in my life, but I can't expect to stay the same and have all of that. It is up to us to recognize our self-destructive patterns and dismantle them ourselves. It's difficult and goes against what my brain tells me first, but it's the right thing to do. Because you know what hurts more than that? Recognizing you must change, doing nothing about it, and betraying yourself for nothing but small comforts. Shout out Dostoevsky. It really does just feel like I'm suffocating, trapped in mental circles I've carved out for myself. This lack of accountability I had for myself creates a self-fulfilling prophecy where I am forced to hurt myself. Only this time, the pain is helping me break my loop. I feel like I'm at my lowest and it sucks. It really does, but I can't wallow in this shame forever. Something has to change. I must change. For the sake of myself and everyone who ever decided to place faith in me. Ultimately, what's been helping a lot is stopping and practicing gratitude. To stop and think about my place in the world. I think about how the first thing my parents said when they visited me was that they were so happy to see me. The tears that we shared in that visitation room. I think about how I would have missed out on seeing Sonic 4 next year. I think about the way my aunt couldn't stop crying for days on end when she heard the news. I think about the ways all my friends would have mourned my death and the devastation it would bring them. I think about how Jacoby and Gerald ran out of their party to come hug me as if they would never get the chance again. I think about the trips I haven't taken yet. I think about my best friend Izzy, who almost tackled me to the ground in an effort to wrap her arms around me. I think about my parents who would have had to bury their own kid before they passed. I think about the mac and cheese Rabbit helped me make to get me to eat more when I was struggling to put food in my mouth. I think about how I never would have been able to finish the Shadowbringers expansion. I think about how I'll eventually be happy and glad I didn't die. I think about you. I love you, whoever's watching, and I dedicate this change to you. I won't be held back by myself anymore. Well, no, that was dramatic. Again, I started the script at 2 a.m. with no real plans to put it out. If it manages to, then cool, I guess. I just hope I put a really cool game behind me and actually lowered or even killed the audio this time, because when I rewatched my mental health video, the fact I could hear the game behind my heartfelt speech was taking me out. Anyway, moral of the story is that I fucked up. Not only that, but it hurt a lot. And in that pain, I found the realization of change that has to come and a dedication to do better. It sucks a lot, especially not knowing if the future I want to come out of this will pass. Regardless, I must do better for those I love, including you, dear viewer. Thank you for giving me a space to ramble. Peace.